I'm Dr. Oware Frederick, graduate of veterinary medicine from the University of Nairobi. And yeah, that's me. Went to primary school in Bondo, then to St. Mary's Yala, where I learned fishing. Fishing was my hobby anyway. Yeah, so basically that's me. We are Aquascapes. We do landscaping, we do waterfalls and fountains, we do aquariums, we do cladding and cladding falls. Yes, then basically that's what we do. If you talk maybe for example landscaping, we do both soft and hard. As you can see on the ground, we do cabro work, which is a part of hard landscaping. Then we do soft landscaping, where there is a lot of planting grass, there is trees and all that. Funny enough, it wasn't Aquascapes, it started as Aquavet services. When I was in campus, I had a lot of interest in fish diseases. So during that time, I apparently developed a medication that became very effective in the treatment of both bacterial and fungal diseases in fish. Then from there, hence I realized that it was an open field because there was a lot of questions coming in, consultations. Then I realized that it was an open field. So I realized that, well, I can explore this particular part. So from there, Aquavet was given birth to in my campus room when I was in my 5th year. Then I got a client. Then from there, we progressed after completing the university. Started our first branch in Tasia. Then did 4 more branches in 4 major malls within Nairobi. Yes. So from within the malls, then we used to have walk-ins, guys walking in, asking questions about water features and all that. So when we were given our first waterfall, we realized that we had to do a lot of research. And we found ourselves in a particular field because there was a lot of demand. So we had to do research in terms of construction, waterproofing, molding, which actually are part of our key areas. Then did our first project. It took us a lot of time before coming to what we wanted. It took us probably 2 months, something that normally I do in 2 weeks nowadays. By the time it was done, the client was happy. Then we realized that yes, we are in for a good business. And from there on, we have progressed and defined the art into details. We realized that we need to connect people to water the way nature intended it to be. You see, guys just built the plant trees, but nothing much about water features. You see, if you listen to the sound of water, actually, they say that the sound of water is like the voice of God. I think it's Ezekiel there around in the Bible. So we realize that we need to connect people to water. There's a lot of idling spaces in houses. The compounds are dry compounds. Then we realize that now with this one, with this kind of a gap that we have, why don't we aquascape their compounds? Yeah, make it look like just apart from the landscaping. Now we want to aquascape it. Actually, when you walk into your compound, you feel the sound of flowing water. Then connect to it because it's therapeutic, number one. Yeah, it being therapeutic, it being beautiful, the aesthetic value cannot be compared to anything else. So we know that we have to continue from there. So we've been we get a lot of calls here and there, and probably not all of them convert into business, but at least people are responding very well because of the value and the beauty, basically. Normally it depends which type, whether it's a waterfall, fountain, cover work, or swimming pool. So either way, we have to do what we call a site visit, very key, so that you can determine the topography of the land, see where do we need to dig, how much digging is required, so that we just create that environment where you'll be able to work. So once we have visited the site, then we give the design. We advise depending on the requirement of the client. If it's a waterfall, then we see the kind of digging that will be required. If it's a fountain, the same. Swimming pool, the same. Cover work, the same. So all of them is, number one is site visit. From site visit, we give a proposal. Once after the proposal, then the client goes through the proposal, then we discuss. Once it's okay with what is supposed to be done, then we get into an agreement. Yeah. Then we start from there. So if it's, for example, we pick waterfall, then excavation is done. Immediately we start excavation, we also do molding by the sides, because these rocks are molded from fiber and other chemicals for us to attain what we are looking at. Once that's done, then we start the molding process, continues at the same time. We do waterproofing, construction and waterproofing. Then we start now assembling the rocks. Yes. Then we continue that one until we are done. Then we do testing. Once we do testing and everything is in order, we do the final part is painting, like this one. We just painted the other day. We do final painting. Then we let it run for 24 hours. If no leakage is done or anything is detected, then there we are. We hand over our job to a happy client. Yes, even though sometimes it's not easy because clients are very difficult. Yeah. Most of when we're doing the molding, when you start the process of molding, it looks very ugly, by the way. It doesn't look like something like you know actually what you are doing. Until it is done, then you see them smile. Yes. We are very flexible and very patient with clients. Yes, at times we show them what we've done. So when you start your work, we'll tell you this is how your work will look like. Yeah, we even give you a drawing of how it will look like. So we at times even have to coordinate to isolate the area and to cover it up so that you don't even see what you are doing. Because at times it's difficult to convince a client we are going to build exactly this thing you are seeing here. So we become a bit patient with them, try to explain to them. There are places where we even been sent out of the site. This is not what you showed me. Yeah, interestingly enough. But we manage to convince them back again to understand that this thing will come exactly what we have shown them. So it's a matter of just convincing the client step by time, because you know molding is not a one-day affair. It's a process. So we tell them, give us time, give us 2-3 weeks, then come back. Or you can always pass by, but don't bother. You just give us time. If this thing does not come up the way you extended it to be, then we are ready to demolish it. Yes. But eventually, at my own cost, exactly. Yeah. Because you know, we always deliver. That's how we do our work to details. So when we promise you we'll deliver, we know we will deliver. Challenges can't miss always. Mostly like that, just for example, what I had told you about clients not visualizing this thing that literally look like what you showed me. So at times it's difficult. You start building, client tells you demolish, start building, continue. Even at the stage of digging alone, it becomes a problem. You dig, no, that one is too wide. No, this is too shallow. Yet as we have done our soil analysis, we know the topography of the land, we know when we dig to this extent, it will be work out for us. But the client says, no, zika chimba. You know, things like that. So at times it's a challenge with most of the clients, but we are patient enough to handle that. Right now, the machinery that we use, mostly when it comes to cladding, and then now the stamping. Instead of cabro work nowadays, we do stamping. Stamping is the latest technology, very efficient, very effective in terms of, it's very beautiful in terms of aesthetics. You can't even compare it with cabro. But when you start it, clients, they have queries. Yeah, but all said and done, we managed to go sell through. So when we get the machines, the machinery we are hoping we will get, we're working on it, that will enable us to facilitate our work well. So once they are on board, then we are good to go. We work across. We work for everyone. The small farmer, small businessman, and even the higher businessmen. We've interacted with very many of them. As long as you are sure of what you are doing and you know what you are doing, ask it's about delivering what was promised, basically. So when I meet the prominent one, like where I'm from right now, from Kisii, he came, he just found us online, called us, and told us that maybe he's giving us an opportunity, but we've delivered beyond his expectation. In fact, he's giving us 3 more clients. Yes, 3 more fellow MPs. So as long as you're sure of what you are doing and you are good at it, small, mighty, or whatever, they're all the same. Yeah, and some of them are very good because once you do what you agreed on, they get excited. And mostly when you put on the pump for the first time, the sound, the environment changes. They are happy. Some of them are very good people. Very humble, actually, indeed. You see them make noise in parliament, but when you meet them outside, when you go to work for them, very humble people. Actually, at times you even wonder if it's the same person you see making noise in parliament. Yeah, nice people. Talk of those people, man, who I will not forget to mention is MP Masaba. It's a nice gentleman, young guy with ambition. We took us to his place and we transformed the entire place to a small, actually carried Runda to Keroka. A nice place. We transformed the place from landscaping to waterfalls, and even his chicken project, chicken's garden is the best manicured grounds you can ever see. Very beautiful place, yes. I would like to give back to the community by training more young people, because it's a nice venture. It's a new venture, though not well understood by very many. But I believe we want to train our workforce, that whether we are within the country, outside the country, no job will stop, so that even the young people can also get an opportunity of earning a living. Yes, we've started it. We hope the future, and as well we can see it, the future looks bright. It looks nice. I think after developing the medication at the university, I did my part. I was so happy about it because the medication is very effective. And it's now, having been there for those number of years, I'm not stopped being a doctor though. Yes, but I'm passionate about what I do. Yes, which is this one. I'm in the construction world. I'm so much passionate about it. Medicine, we'll see how to juggle around with it. But currently, what I do apart from just being in the field, I at least have my own dogs. I have what I serious kennel for dogs for breeding. So when I'm free and I don't have any job, I go attend to my dogs. So I'm not supposed to be a doctor anyway, because I can still vaccinate them and of course treat them when necessary. Yeah. And in fact, I'll give, if you have a company, I'll give you a security dog. I even import dogs, yeah? So I will give you a serious security dog. You touch my gate, you can think that it's a park. Yeah, full of dogs. Number one, key is patience. Number two is consistency. It's a process. Everything is a process. You can start small, like we never started with the Aquascapes. But here we are today. At least you can do something magnificent, something beautiful. But it's a matter of being patient and being consistent in what we do and ready to learn. Our father in this industry was called the late Paul Muguna, who's a good guy. He built one of the biggest waterfalls that has ever been seen in this country, in Signature Mall. I think I can compare it to Victoria Falls. It's big, 4 floors high. When you walk into that mall, what you feel is, I can't describe it even in words. So just be patient enough, be ready to learn, be consistent in whatever you do, and above all, believe in God. Yeah, so that He can bless you and open for you more doorways and open avenues for you. There are competitors, not so much though, because what I've seen around is terrible. Guys build things in the name of waterfalls. In fact, there's somebody who built one which is 4 floors high, but there's no aquadynamics. In other words, water cannot flow because they're just trying to copy paste, seeing something and trying to think that you can do it. Number one, learn and get it. Because I'm forced to demolish a lot of waterfalls across this country because they have been built in a way they cannot flow. There is no mechanisms. The rock work is so poor, so weak, cannot sustain anything. I know water under pressure. You know water can do water under pressure. So we have competitors, but they're not doing serious jobs. If you want serious jobs, where there's serious molding, serious construction part of it, and then the understanding of water flow, the academics, we are the best in it. And actually, we are second to none anyway. I consider ourselves we are the best. I'm not always proud because our work talks for itself. That's what they will see. We are on Instagram page, Aquascapes Kenya, Facebook, Aquascapes Kenya, LinkedIn, Aquascapes Kenya. Yes, you can be reached on our mobile numbers. You've got 0721 534 580 or 0712 954 990.